The story starts off as a woman barges inside an apartment apologizing for waking the MC, explaining coming too early before the dated time. She explains being excited for their date today, being too excited she woke up early, also preparing a lunchbox. The MC is confused, wondering who she is. The woman in front seemed confused as she introduces herself as Recon's girlfriend. Wondering why he is asking, she ponders if he has any reason for not letting her inside the house. Wondering if someone besides her is inside, insisting it's a woman and he's cheating, the sudden realization kicks in as she seemed to mistook him for someone. Apologizing for the inconvenience as he was a neighbor of his boyfriend, explaining coming here in a hurry and forgetting her contacts shortly after she left. A week passed by and the MC suddenly noticed a lot of noise outside his apartment, suggesting his neighbor moving out. Although he never saw him, he only got a glimpse of the movers, never the man himself. Suddenly he got a ring in front of his door. A woman could be seen peeking, looking shy. As she stood in front of the MC excusing herself for the intrusion, asking if he remembered her, he recognized her instantly as the neighbor's girlfriend, which he suddenly corrected the MC as they recently broke up the other day, confusing the MC even further. She shortly explained the affairs her ex-BF was having, bringing other women into his house. Upon hearing this, the MC questions what kind of man would sew such an awful thing to such a cute girl. She looked sad, but afterwards doesn't care anymore, as she came here today to apologize on the inconvenience she caused the other day, baking a cake for him as an apology. The MC is delighted and compliment her kindness, going out of her way. The MC offered her company in his house by having some tea, which made the woman beam with light, asking if it's all right. She immediately accepted the offer and headed inside his apartment. Unbeknownst to him, this would be the start of their journey of being acquainted even more to one another. As the door shuts, she hurriedly headed inside, smiling happily. The woman in front is named Yui-san. The MC excused for the mess as he wasn't expecting anyone, which Yui-san doesn't mind at all. The MC questions if she would wait for some cup of tea to enjoy with the cake she brought. She expressed that she is happy as long as he gets to enjoy it, as the cake isn't big enough and it's only for him to enjoy, not wanting to worry about her share, although she slipped up and called the MC with his real name. At first the MC didn't seem to notice this, but as soon as he did, he questions the mentioning of his name, which made Yui-san's eyes suddenly becoming dark. She immediately became wary, but also assuring the MC, as she already knew his name before due to the mails being mistakenly put in her ex-apartment. And remembering it as it was an unusual name, he didn't raise any suspicions anymore, but Yui-san still is apologetic, giving him a scare like that. She then, in return, introduces herself formally to the MC as Yui-san. She expressed that it's some kind of fate that they met, asking to be taken care of from now on. The MC ponders if this is the start of something and questions in his head if it's alright, even though she is his neighbor's ex-GF, although unbeknownst to him his neighbor really didn't exist. Upon opening the cake, he praises it for looking delicious. As the MC is taking a bite, she stared intently, making him nervous, although she seems anxious, waiting for his reaction on the cake she made. The MC took a bite and tasted it, praising its taste. Yui-san breathes a sigh of relief, as it has been a while she made them and were worried how it would taste. Shortly after, the MC suddenly felt sleepy while looking at Yui-san. As his eyes closed, Yui-san whispers night-night, indicating she made him fell asleep using the cake. After a while, the MC ponders what he was doing, as he could suddenly feel something soft and warm all of a sudden. Upon opening his eyes, his sight is suddenly focused on Yui-san, asking if he's awake now. He questions how in the world he managed to be like this. Yui-san explained he managed to doze off as he must be tired from work. Upon realizing the situation, he suddenly perked up, apologizing as he fell asleep in her lap, although Yui-san smiled and laughed it off as his sleeping face was so cute. The MC ponders of being embarrassed by his actions, resulting in falling asleep due to overtime. As he looked at the time, it's already past 6, which Yui-san suggests going home as she have completely overstayed her welcome. The MC bids her farewell, apologizing for not being able to accommodate her fully, which she doesn't seem to mind at all. As she was leaving, she questions if she could come see him again, which the MC seems delighted to do so. This made her happy, wanting to see him next time soon. As she left, the MC is left alone praising Yui-san for her cute looks, although he wonders how he managed to fall asleep, as he's seen to also notice the dishes being put away and the room being tidier than before. Unbeknownst to him, Yui-san intentionally made him asleep and got a hold of a spare key of his room, which she held tightly while smiling, indicating she wants to intrude on his apartment without his noticed. On a sunny day, Yui-san could be seen singing to herself doing laundry, nothing suspicious at first, but she suddenly grabbed hold of a pair of boxers. Embarrassed by her actions, she tried staying composed as she has to do her best. This is because one day she will be Akuto-san's perfect girlfriend. Seemingly she is inside the MC's apartment using the spare key she stole. Later that evening, as Akuto-san got home, he noticed the laundry being done. He called his parents asking if they came over and did it, to which they didn't, as his parents apparently doesn't have spare keys kept at his place for emergencies, which they also asked him to come home often some other time and visit them. That evening, Yui-san was also listening, but she was listening on them using a spy mic on his apartment. She laughed hearing his confusion over the phone call with his mother. The very next day, Akuto-san is seen walking to his work, which behind him from a distance is Yui-san taking pictures as she silently compliments him looking good wearing a suit. Suddenly, a bunch of men is taking a peek at her from a distance, describing her cute appearance and a really good figure. They took the courage to approach her and questions if she is meeting with her friends, asking her to come hang out with them instead. Her eyes suddenly darkened, feeling unpleasant by their sudden approach towards her. She told them off as she is meeting up with them and she loves asking them to go away. The men suddenly whispered to one another, getting a bad feeling from her asking to cut it out. His friends jokingly laughs as he seems to be losing his nerve over a girl like her, but in the end they got away from her as they felt something off. Shortly after Akuto-san was going back home from work, finally catching a breath, he seemed to bump into Yui-san scattering her groceries and being startled by her sudden appearance. As they both tried cleaning up, she seems to not expect the MC here. She went to close her store to do some shopping, which Akuto-san seemed to be interested in her store. As he reached out for the last item, he suddenly touched her hand, startling Yui-san, although she tried inviting the MC out into her store. A voice of a woman could be heard calling out senpai towards Akuto-san, making her darken her eyes. As the woman named Idano-san approached Akuto-san, she wanted to invite the MC out for a drink, but he seemingly left straight away, although Akuto-san seemed to be avoiding her. Yui-san, on the other hand, looked at her dangerously. Idano-san suddenly noticed a woman standing beside her, questioning who she is, which she immediately jumped to the conclusion it was his girlfriend, as they both tried explaining that she is just his neighbor, a bit complicated, but ultimately friends. Idano-san breathed a sigh of relief, being grateful that doesn't seem to be the case, although Yui-san looks at her intently with her piercing gaze, wondering what's her intentions towards Akuto-san. Idano-san immediately made arrangements to go out for drinking, although he hasn't said anything, being forced to do so as their friend arrived. Idano-san bids farewell, immediately asking Akuto-san to go with them in an urgent, although he wanted to first hear about Yui-san's words earlier, as she might be saying something. Idano-san's friend heard this and wanted to mention it, but she pinched him, indicating her aggressive behavior. Yui-san ultimately decided to let them go. As such, she bid farewell, telling the MC to come visit her anytime he likes. She also offered baking cookies for him next time, which made Akuto-san blushed and smiled for a bit. This is when Matsuda, his colleague, urgently grabbed him to go drinking, as both Idano and Yui-san bids farewell while the MC apologizes and wants to see her next time. As they have their back to each other, both of them look slightly towards one another, thinking what their intentions to the MC. At the bar, Idano-san discussed the traffic accident that had happened. She expressed her fear of being involved in it. Idano-san explains that she is scared going home alone after seeing something like that. On the other hand, Akuto-san doesn't seem to think of her words, as he is worried for Yui-san, wondering if she's alright. Idano-san in the front seemed to notice something and called out to the MC. She assumed that he was thinking about something else, which he explains his worriness on Yui-san. Idano-san didn't take this lightly, asking to only look at her. On the other hand, Yui-san is all along listening on their conversation from a distance on an earpiece he planted on him. Her demeanor changed to a dark and dimmed atmosphere as she read aloud the information of Idano-san's parents and brother included, as she also lives alone. Back to the MC, his friend suddenly excused himself to the bathroom, leaving the two of them alone. As Idano-san is seemingly drunk, she questions if he doesn't plan on drinking anymore, although his concern shows as he wants to know if she would be alright going home. Idano-san knows she will be fine, but although she reveals being worried about something, which the MC questions, Idano-san reaches out her hands and only plans to reveal this to him. She put on a face asking if they could go somewhere else with the two of them afterwards. The MC questions what should he do about this, as he seems wary about her intentions. As their drinking ends, they all separated and went towards their own ways, bidding farewell, which Idano-san just stands in silence as she didn't get what she wanted. The male colleague mentions that Ikuto-san being so cold and distant, and he offered himself to talk with her as he is always available. Although she heard this, she told him to shut his mouth. As she was standing still looking at her phone rang, which he doesn't recognize the number, wondering who this is. As she answered, a familiar voice could be heard asking if she enjoyed her little get-together. The caller was none other than Yui-san. This made Idano-san caught by surprise. She seems a bit worried, although she recognized as one of her senpai's friend from that day, asking how did she get this numbered. Yui-san didn't reveal anything, although she apologizes for calling in late as she wants to ask for a favor. She mentions of being sorry about Ikuto-san as she wants to be able to give a warning. And it's her fault, and this time she wanted to talk calmly without any fuss. Idano-san seems confused, but Yui-san suddenly turned murderous as she warns her to not get near the MC any more than this, asking if she could do so. Idano-san didn't took this seriously and laughed loudly as she was confused, but she smirked and only assured they are only junior and senior in the workplace, nothing more than that. Yui-san thanked her, taking her word for it. But Idano-san has other intentions, but unbeknownst to her, Yui-san is standing from a distance watching her every move. As the colleague got back, he questions if there is anything wrong, which Idano-san suddenly changed her mind about something and she needs his help. Back to the MC, he shortly got back home, pondering if he didn't do anything bad to Idano-san, as he was thinking of Yui-san the whole time and couldn't accept her offer as he is already hooked on Yui-san. With the days being long, he plans to go to bed and sleep early, although his plans got interrupted as a ring could be heard. A knock in the doorbell could be heard, which the MC wonders who would be at the front door this late at night. As he peeked through the small hole, he saw Matsuda and Idano with a worried face on him. He opened the door, questioning what happened to them. Matsuda explains that Idano became wasted after another round of drinks and she seems to not be responsive, and not knowing where she lives, he couldn't just dump here anywhere, only coming here to find help. Matsuda seems worried as he brought her inside and suddenly leaving her behind to Ikuto-san finding excuse as he has to wake up early tomorrow. The MC couldn't believe Matsuda as he just left her, but he doesn't feel right to let a female co-worker in his house, but can't just leave her alone, which he decided to let her stay and sober up. But unbeknownst to him, this was all part of Idano's plan. As Matsuda left the apartment, he has a gut-wrenching feeling that something bad might have happened. Back to Idano, she seems to act surprised being at Ikuto-san's apartment as the two are left alone in his place. Idano felt sorry for the inconvenience, but it seems her interest went towards his room, asking if there were any lewd magazines hidden, which the MC suddenly became surprised as he denies having those magazines. Idano-san seems to be enjoying this. Ikuto-san suddenly mentions it's getting late and they should rest up early, asking her to take the bed while he takes the sofa. Idano-san became flirty all of a sudden as she doesn't want to hear those depressing things, asking to sleep together, which surprised him all of a sudden. Ikuto-san shoved her back as he is fine with the setup he had in mind, which he then turned away from her, bidding goodnight. This made Idano pout a bit as the MC makes sure that nothing's happened between them. Late that morning at 2 a.m. Ikuto-san is sleeping soundly, which Idano-san couldn't believe his actions towards her advances. She suddenly remembered Yui-san's words not going near the MC anymore, although she ignored her. She thinks of her not even staying at his room, let alone acting like his girlfriend, although Adano doesn't want to end the night just like this as her pride won't be able to take it. She suddenly got the bright idea while looking at him. She got near him as he was sleeping. With a smile she leans forward going for a kiss, although a dark figure could be seen in the background peeking as Adano-san was about to go for a kiss. She pauses and decided to take a photo as she might never get the chance to do so. Unbeknownst to her, as she was taking a selfie, her camera suddenly caught a figure holding a hammer behind her. This made her instantly freeze as she stood there silently looking at the unknown figure. She stood still in fear as the dark figure raises its arm and instantly attacked her. As the dark scene cuts, we are left with a lifeless, unconscious body being dragged behind the curtains. The mysterious figure suddenly revealed itself as Yui-san going for a kiss on the forehead on Ikuto-san. Which that evening the MC was half asleep thinking about Yui-san. That morning he woke up and thought to himself of dreaming something. He seems puzzled as he looks around in confusion, not finding where Adano-san is. He didn't saw her shoes in the front, not realizing she's gone home already. As he checked his phone, a text message could be seen thanking him as Adano-san left already while he was asleep. The MC was worried over nothing that night, brushing off the encounter. He replied, which revealed the phone of Adano-san being in the hands of a woman. This woman is Yui-san, as she got hold of it last night. Being sad as he didn't need to reply to that text message as that woman was intruding and taking advantage of him in the first place. But she pays her worries no mind as from now on she will keep him safe. Later that day, Ikuto-san feels bad for going to sleep while a female colleague was over, but as he tried getting up, a ring could be heard on the front door. Wondering who could it be, suggesting it might be Adano-san forgetting something. As he opened the door, he was met with Yui-san apologizing for the sudden visit she does. He wonders if he could help her with something. She decided to went out of her way to check on him as he mentioned drinking yesterday and was a little worried he was too badly hungover. The MC blushed and seemed happy, thanking her as she went out to get something for him. And she reveals that she just wanted to really see him today, making the MC's heart caught by surprise. She suddenly got embarrassed as she was just teasing him, which he finds this cute, almost giving him the wrong idea. But suddenly she became dark-eyed as she questions if he had any guests over, which Ikuto-san seemed confused. Although he revealed inviting something yesterday due to being too wasted, he assured that was all there was to it, which Yui-san felt revealed as he was honest with her, wondering why did she ask for such information. Yui-san revealing she just had a woman's hunch, which the MC see women as really perceptive when it comes to those things. But suddenly Yui-san acted adorable, asking that he shouldn't bring any other women to his house going forward. Which the MC seemed to understood, as he doesn't just bring anyone here anyway, making Yui-san happy. She immediately excused herself as she better get going as she left for a brief moment. Levy. Yui-san introduced her store as a small and cakes confection store named Luna Nova. Ikuto-san seems hooked as the cake he had back then from her was so good. Yui-san is delighted to have him drop by the store when he's free, as she insists on personally taking care of him if he went to the store. As she left, Ikuto-san decided to drop by and check the place out tomorrow. A sudden ring from his phone suddenly could be heard as Matsuda questions if Adano-san has gone home yet. He replied that Adano-san left early in the morning, which Matsuda stands in silence as he kept ringing her apartment with no answer. He stood in fear and wary as something bad might have happened, which I would say karma did. Back to Yui-san as she closed her store while making cakes. Ikuto-san texted her thanking for the morning and asking to drop by again the store tomorrow. This made Yui-san beam with happiness as she happily made cakes. After her creation is done, she headed downstairs on a dark and eerie basement. As she opened the door to the basement, her dark-eyed figure revealed as she thanked someone for patiently waiting. The person she was thanking was none other than Adano-san, tied up and bruised up from their altercation, holding her captive, never to be seen or heard from again, as she keeps her away from Ikuto-san. With this ends our story as Yui-san gets her happy ending and Idano-san meeting her fate due to the consequences of her actions.